Chapter 4, Sloka 26. We'll pray to Krishna Bhagwan Ji. We offer the class chanting to Krishna Bhagwan Ji and we'll start the chanting Shloka 26. Akriti, we'll do chanting. Shrotradini.
Shrotradini.
Triyanyanye.
Triyanyanye.
Samyamagnishu.
Samyamagnishu.
Juhavti. Juhavti.
Juhavati.
Shabdadin.
Shabdadin.
Vishayananya.
Vishayanyanya.
Indriyagnishu.
Indriyagnishu.
Juhavti.
Juhavati.
Shloka 27. Sarvanin.
Sarvanin.
Driyakarmani.
Triyakarmani.
Pranakarmani.
Pranakarmani.
Chapare.
Chapare.
Atmasamya.
Atmasamya.
Mayogagnau.
Ayognagno.
Juhavati.
Juhavati.
Jnanadipite.
Jnanadipite.
28. Dravyayajyas.
Dravyayajyas.
Tapoyajya.
Tapoyajya.
Yogayajyas.
Yogayajyas.
तथा परे.
तथा परे.
स्वाध्याय.
स्वाध्याय.
ज्ञानयज्ञाश्च.
ज्ञानयज्ञाश्च.
यतयः.
यतयः.
संशितव्रतः.
संशितव्रतः.
अपाने.
अपाने.
जुहवति.
जुहवति.
प्राणम्.
प्राणम्.
प्राणिपानम्.
प्राणिपानम्.
तथा परे.
तथा परे.
प्राणापानगति.
प्राणापानगति.
रुद्ध्वा.
कृत्वा.
प्राणाया. आकृति. आकृति उधर.
Yes.
प्राणाया.
प्राणाया.
मपरायणाः.
उपरायतनायाः.
मपरायणाः.
परायणाः.
Now we will do the meaning part. Shri Krishna Bhavi, we are doing meaning now. Chapter 4, Shloka 26. So here Krishna Bhagwan Ji is saying that, remember he was talking about the yogis who offer their karma as yagna and the yogis who offer the material things in the yagnas. So here Krishna Bhagwan Ji is saying that whereas some yogis offer their senses like for example, the hearing, sensory, other senses into the fire of self-control. And other yogis offer things that are known by the senses like sound and other sense objects as sacrifice in the fire of the senses. So what is the yagna? What is the fire? Fire is the control, the self-control. So two yagnas are going on. One is the self-control fire. Another one is the fire, the natural element, what we see. So Krishna Bhagwan Ji is telling us that what is the actual meaning of yagna? What is the actual homam, what we are supposed to do? We are supposed to do that yagna called self-control. So meaning of this is some yogis do the sacrifice of their senses into the self-control, whereas some other yogis do the sacrifice of material things into the fire. To one yagna, although there is no fire, the yogis sacrifice their cravings into the fire of self-control, whereas some other yogis offer the things like the homams, all the samagris we do at our home or we see in our temples. So very clearly, Supreme Lord is guiding us what we are supposed to do, what is the actual meaning of doing prayers, what is the actual way of doing the homams, yagnas. Now we have to decide, we have to use our intellect and take the path, choose the path according to our wish. So if we see, Supreme Lord is not forcing us. He is clearing every doubts. He is showing us the path and he is telling us to choose the path. He is not putting any compulsion. He's not at all strict. He has given the choices. He has cleared what is right, what is wrong, what has to be done. He knows that what humans are doing in the name of yagna, what they are doing in the name of homam. He knows everything. So he has cleared everything. Now we need to understand that what we are supposed to do. And what the way shown by Krishna Bhagwan Ji is very simple, very easy, though it is impossible for many, but it's not impossible. It can be done. Okay, Akriti, please explain.
That if if we chant slokas and do what he does, we can get more. And Shri Krishna is not forcing us to do what he wants. He is giving us choices what we can do to get the karma, and we have to also do our primary duty.
Akriti, please focus in the class. You are a good girl. Shloka 27. Now Krishna Bhagwan Ji is telling that there are also few other yogis who are so enlightened by true knowledge that they offer the functions of all their senses and their life energy into the fire of their controlled mind and soul. So this is the most toughest form of yagna or sacrifice. So one can achieve it only after a lot of dedication, sacrifice, devotion, and conviction. There has to be consistency to attain this level. And that consistency is of years. It is not that 1 month or 2 months. It takes years to achieve this level. So here the yogi will not be affected by anything around him or her. Like he is not affected by the summers or winters, sweet or sour, beautiful or ugly. No, nothing is affecting, neither the rain or heat, sunlight, nothing. So it is like anything on everything. There is no happiness or sorrow in his life because it has attained to that highest level of yogi or a wise man, or we can say that highest level of controlling the senses. So it is be done. He is doing with meditation. He do with he got the paravidya. What Krishna Bhagavan is saying, he got the highest level of true education. So that person has understood what Supreme Lord is telling and attain that level. It is through his self-motivation. It is his own conviction. What Supreme Lord is giving the same teaching to everyone. But it depends how we are taking it. What is our conviction? So here Supreme Lord is talking about the people who have attained the highest level of Paravidya, highest level of they have attained the highest level of yogi, and they sacrifice their karma into their life energy. So their mind, soul, senses, their karma is everything in Supreme Lord. They are totally focused in that. So it is the most toughest form what Krishna Bhagwan Ji is talking about, Shloka 27. Ritu Bhabhi, your turn.
So in this shloka, Krishna Bhagwan Ji is speaking of the different kinds of sacrifices that a person does to control his desires. And this is the highest form of sacrifice in which a person sacrifices all his senses, all his karmas in the fire of control. And such a person is the true knowledge person.
Thank you so much. So from Shloka 25, Krishna Bhagwan Ji is talking about different forms of yagna or homam. So in this shloka, there are 4 types. Krishna Bhagwan Ji is talking about 4 types of yagnas or homam in shloka 28. The first is the people who donate wealth in charity without the expectation of getting famous and expecting good things in return. They are just giving away, nothing they are expecting. Next is doing meditation and devotion in tough conditions like fasting or living in ashrams or living in mountains. So that is the toughest form. Then doing yagnas by the form of bhakti yoga to find out the inner self or self-realization. Last is by studying the Vedic Puranas or any spiritual books or Upanishads, Vedic books. So this is the 4th type. So all the yagnas have to be performed by making strict promises and discipline with our own self. It is that you are doing commitment to your own self, and you don't have to tell anyone. It is your commitment, your dedication, your devotion, your conviction that which way you want to adapt. So Krishna Bhagwan Ji has shown us many ways. From Shloka 25, he's showing us different forms of attaining him, different forms of doing yagnas or homams. It is our choice, which is convenient to us, we can opt for that. So these are the different forms of homam, and we need to understand what we are supposed to do, what we have to do. So if we see, like, why Krishna Bhagwan Ji has shown us all this, why he is sharing this knowledge with us, because he thinks that we have the capability to understand all this. Remember chapter 4, Sloka 3, Krishna Bhagwan Ji said that why I am telling you this knowledge, why I am sharing with you, because you have the capability to understand, you can follow it, and you have the capabilities to spread as well. So remember this fact, we are the privileged one, we have to use this privilege and follow the path shown by him in Gita. Akriti, your turn, Shloka 28.
Krishna saying that if we give away something, we should not expect anything from that person which we gave. And also, we don't have to do something so difficult and go somewhere out and pray to Sri Krishna. We can sit at home doing our family duty and chant the slokas.
There are 4 types of yagnas. So what are they? Do you remember?
No.
Akriti, you're a good girl now. How beautifully you have chanted the shlokas. Why don't you focus in the meaning also? Now, Supreme Lord is talking another form of yajna. This is through meditation. It is called pranayam. We all are aware in yoga we do pranayam. So Krishna Bhagwan Ji is saying the effective way, one more way of doing the sacrifice or yajna or homam is that the incoming breath and the outgoing breath. So you are sacrificing that as well. So an effective pranayam will give peace to mind, will give us focus and concentration skills. An effective pranayam is one where our mind is totally focused on the air we breathe in, holding in our lungs, and then breathe out. And this activity is to be done in continuation without the mind getting anywhere else. So mind is totally focused on the breath, then the mind gets peace, and then the mind is also focusing on the Supreme Lord, and it attains the supreme level of concentration, and this state of mind will help the performer of pranayam to realize their goals. So for a yogi, it will help to do the effective yajnas, and for students, good education, and for business people, the art to do good business, and it can be any profession. So they gain the perfection. They learn how to gain the perfection. So pranayam is not new. Pranayam is also as old as Gita, as old as the Supreme Lord. So those days also pranayam was there, yoga was also there. So it will be discussed more in chapter 6 in elaborately by Supreme Lord. What is pranayam? What is meditation? So here Krishna Bhagwan Ji is talking about pranayam, and that is like while performing that pranayam, the incoming breath and outgoing breath is being focused focused on the Supreme Lord, and all the benefits is being discussed by him. So this is Sloka 29. So we also get the awareness that pranayam is also one of the important things that we need to include in our daily routine. Ritu Bhabi, your turn.
Yeah, so this after saying about all the material sacrifices that we can make, now Krishna Bhagwan Ji is saying that even meditation is a form of sacrifice, in which he's talking about pranayam, where the incoming breath and the outcoming breath is controlled with a consciousness of the divine. So that will help us in calming our senses, or it's a kind of controlling your senses.
Thank you. So these are the different forms Supreme Lord has been discussing from some Shloka 25. So what is yajna and what is homam? So we did till Shloka 29. Okay.